I'm Mark Anderson of Panther Creek Bindery, and I'm a bookbinder and a book conservator. Today I'm putting together a copy of the first folio. I began by thinking about what kind of paper to use for the end sheets, because it seemed like a good idea to use handmade paper, which was more appropriate to a book of that age than the modern machine-made papers. So I chose a handmade paper made by a woman out in Maine. Then it was sent off to have some of the original first pages printed on it to give people an idea of the size of the printing and such. Then I trimmed the rest of the pages, which was a modern machine-made paper, a little larger than I needed so that I could trim it back after the book was sewn. And then here's a dedication and an introduction. Those pages were folded in half into sections. I then punched holes in each of the folds of those sections for the sewing stations. Then I set up the sewing frame, because this is sewn on a style called double flexible on a couple of cords. The cords have to be held under tension while you're sewing, because they'll just fall over if they're not. And then just began sewing a section at a time around the sewing supports. I'm sewing it using linen thread, which would have been used at the time and still is used today. It's the best thread for sewing books. I'm going to cover half of it so that people can see the sewing structure and see how the end bands were sewn, and just to see the inner workings of the book, how the covers are attached to the text block and such. Because I thought that was going to be more interesting than just seeing a book that looked the same as the folio. But yeah, sewing it just takes time. And this is a little something because it's the slowest way of sewing a book. But if things are going well, this is like the most relaxing thing in the world you can do.